And boom, welcome back to another video where we're out again in the Peak District, conquering an old enemy. Well, I say conquering, I'm not climbing Everest, but if you cast your mind back to the very first video that I made on this channel, I had to bail out because of the wind. Well, we're going back to the very same place with the very same tent that I've still not used after that day. So we're going to use the new tent, the Alpkit Kangri. Well, I say new tent, I've had it for a while now. But this time we're doing something slightly different. You can see we're in a bit of forested woodland. Well, we're going the other way up to where we tried to camp before. We're on the other side of it and we're going back up. But this way you go past an old ruined manor house, country hall, whatever you want to call it. A place called Irwood Hall. Which was built in 1830 or in the 1830s by a wealthy Manchester businessman and was then lived in and for about 100 years or so. But they had to dismantle it when building the reservoir, which is back where we've just come from. So we'll have a look at the ruins of that and then we'll make our way up to the top of Shining Tor and actually try and camp this time, I reckon. So I've never been to the hall before, although I think it's somewhere here. It's a relatively short walk from the car park to where I am now. And this looks like a hall. There we are. There we're here. That's Bob upstairs. It's a really short walk. I don't know if I can spin you around. Probably not going to be able to see much. That there is the path that I came in on. It's like a half mile, if that, from the car park. But here we are, Irwood Hall. All the ruins of. This is. I did some research before I came because I'd never been here before. But this was like the sort of front viewing area where they'd look out to whatever would have been here, probably some kind of garden here, I imagine. As you can see, there's only actually one wall left, which is what we're looking at, and the rest of it's been taken down to foundations or the slab. Let's jump up on top of it and have a look at the floor plan. So I'm assuming this is some kind of doorway type thing, coat of arms. It's not as old as you may think. Oh, the acoustics changed when I walked through that there. It's not as old as you might think. Like I say, built in 1830 for a wealthy businessman from Manchester, apparently. But I can't, it's so mad in it, history. For those of you that don't know, I'm a massive history geek. And it just blows my head that there was like, this was a literal house. People living here. What a spot, by the way. Fair play. And this would have been like, so I'm guessing this may have been the front door. Come up through the passageway to like a bit of a porch here. Little doorway there, probably a cloakroom. Come through this way and through this doorway into like a sort of living area or something, living room, whatever. This would have been like a viewing place out onto the gardens. This would have definitely been a corridor through the house. There would have been steps down to that room. Another similar sort of garden with a big window, room with a big window. And then various rooms here. Obviously this would be the downstairs. Another room here. And then this would have been the outside wall. I would guess a bit of a back door here. And then on to further parts of the house further down, which we can get to, so let's have a wander that way. But yeah, it's just sort of, I don't know, I'm walking in the steps of where a wealthy, bear in mind it was built in about 1830, so we're not far off 200 years ago. And this would have been their gaff, like walking on the foundations of the gaff. This would have definitely been an outside wall with another view over there. And this is the other end. I guess maybe there would have been steps on the other side of here. Oh no, I'm wrong. This is like a slab for something though. And down onto that paving is definitely modern. And then out that way to somewhere. But I suspect they would have cut down some of the shrubbery, and I mean, these trees hundreds of years old perhaps, but there's a lovely reservoir down there that you can't quite see. But what a gaff, eh? So we're going up to Shining Torch, which is about 2.5 miles from here, I think, if I've measured it right. It's a bit of a climb. The weather, I haven't talked about yet, but the weather's not looking great. It's, as you can probably see, a bit rainy, not too bad rain, a bit blustery. And there's apparently, spin you around, there's apparently going to be some sleet up on the top where I'm planning on going. Now this tent is an inner pitch first tent, so I do need to time it right when I pitch it, because I don't want to pitch it. This is a massive square in the middle, by the way, whatever I'm in here. When I'm editing this, I'll try and ping a picture up so you can see what, there's a good picture of what these arches would have looked like when the building was up. So yeah, pitching the tent, I've got to do it when it's not raining. Like now it wouldn't be too bad, so I've just got to time it right getting up there. But we've got about 2 hours of light left, so plenty of time, I think. It's just a route I've not walked before, so just got to figure it out. Getting through these forest paths, it's dead easy to take a wrong turn. The other thing is, when the family lived here for about 120 years or something like that, there was a chapel and a burial ground, which I think is up there. So, and the burial ground still exists, so I'm going to hopefully go past that on the way up to the top. That should be a pretty interesting look. But this, I know we've been on this clip about this ruin for ages, but this is cool, man. Like, this would have been a big gaff, and now it's knocked down. I wish I hadn't knocked it down. I'd have had it off them. Oh, I haven't worded that very well. I'd have had it off them, is what I meant to say though. But yeah, mad place. Never been here before, glad I have now. Let's get up and see if we can find that burial ground, eh? I think it's the graves of the families and the family members and pets that once resided here. So we've just climbed up. We were right down the bottom there. Come right up to the top. You can see it's snowing a little bit now. We're sleeting. That's the reservoir down there that we parked next to. And if we come this way, I think I've found. It wasn't easy to find though. It wasn't on a very well trodden path. It's just over here. Is indeed the burial ground, I think. Well, I say I think. I hope it is. Here we are. It's a bit mad, isn't it? In your back garden, basically. Oh, it's a fair walk up that. Please respect this burial ground, no problem. Oh wow. Sam, I think that was the fella that built it. That was the fella that built it, I think. Wow. Yeah, these are where the rest of the family are buried. R.I.P. A couple of plaques on the bench as well, by the looks of it. Eileen Benson. All the best, Eileen. Tommy Bennett. Mad. So yeah, the manor house from where we are now is, I wonder if I walk to the end of this path you'd be able to see, but it's right down the other side of there. It'd be cool if you could see it from above. No such luck, I'm afraid. It's right down this path and down the other side. There's nip down there and you can't see anything. It's all overgrown with the trees and stuff, but we're now heading through this valley up there, and you can't even see the top of where we're going. You can just see some trees, but we're way above where trees are going to be. So we've got to walk up that yet. I think we follow one of it. You can sort of see a path there. Well, at least I can anyway. I don't know if you can. through there. So the big climb starts now. Normally, like the first time we tried it and we had to bail out, we parked on the other side of there. And you park next to the Cat and Fiddle pub and you're already halfway up, so it's a much bigger climb now. Let's tackle it. The keen-eyed among you might recognise where we are. This is where we came from last time we came up near Christmas, sheltered behind this very Christmas tree. Now I'm sure we had to go through the gate, although maybe I'm wrong. That is where we parked last time. Cat and Fiddle. We came from Irwood and Irwood Hall, and we're going to Shining Tor. The weather has taken a bit of a dive. Obviously we're on the tops now, so my moustache is soaked with the sleet. So the wind's picked up, the rain has turned into sort of, it's not really snow and it's not hail, but it's not sleet. Like, I don't know, it is sticking to the floor. Where's the camera there? But it's only like, I think you'd probably call it little mini hailstones really, nothing more than that. So what you can't see is that walk up to the top of Shining Tor, which is what we're about to do now. But I'm glad I've picked another absolutely world-class day for weather, because I'm going to see about the length of my arm when we get up there. And it's a shame because the views up here are class. Let's hope they're there in the morning. To be fair, it did say on the forecast the visibility was poor, but on the way up I was hopeful. But as you can probably expect, the higher I got, the worse the visibility got. But last push to the top. That was a tough climb coming up from there then. I'm really excited to get the tent up, if I get the tent up this time. To get the tent up and sit down. My left hip's hurting a little bit. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting that up. Getting inside it. Having a brew and listening to the sound of this hail on the tent all being well. Obviously minor concern, like I mentioned earlier on, it's an inner first pitch tent. Inner pitch first tent, whatever. Inner first. So, I mean, this hail will be fine. It won't wet the inner too much. It'll be fine. But that is the concern with an inner first pitch, obviously. So, right. Time to put some, I mean, it's not far now. It's about half a mile. It may be even a bit less than that, perhaps. Remember this on the way up first time? Wasn't there a dog? A dog's name was on a bauble, I'm sure of it. But there's a lot more on here now. which is pretty cute, especially in February. Sort of brings back a little memory and just a few months ago. I want to find that one with the dog's name on. Can't see where it is. To be fair, the wind that comes up here, I'm surprised any of them are on. Lovely. I think I can see the trig. Let's get jiggy with Triggy. Oh, look at the sort of snow, hail, that's frozen. Let's go this way. Conditions are a bit, I can't go that way because it's all, if I step on any of that I'm going through it. Conditions are a bit colder up here than I anticipated, but I've brought everything I need. Certainly a lot less windy than the last time we were up here, just a few months ago. Oh, it is an actual winter camp. Oh, there's a gate latch on there. You sort of forget, don't you, that whilst it's been somewhat mild down there in where you live, up here there's a different ball game. Let's get jiggy with Triggy. Right then, you may find this familiar. The wind is definitely higher than it was forecast for sure. We tried to pitch somewhere along here last time, but yeah, it's going to be another challenging pitch in this wind, but I'm not going to make the same mistakes I did last time. Did we try and go here before? I think we were trying somewhere here. Looks pretty flat, and that's the other wall we were the other side of. These are the stones that we used last time, I think. It does sort of arch a little bit. Could go here. I would like to. This is flatter, but it's not by the wall. It's a bit bumpier as well. Oh wow. It's really bumpy. I think that's the spot there, isn't it? It is not 100% level, but you know, what more do you want, really? I remember walking along that side last time and I don't think there was anything extra there. Like, look at this now. Tell you what though, that's what we're here for. It's the conditions I enjoy. I enjoy a challenge. And I've got all the kit that I need to keep me warm. So the first challenge is getting a woolly hat on and pitching this tent to get inside it. That's my spot. Well, that went a lot better than it did last time. The wind is coming from this wall, so it is the right decision to get as close to this as we can. Firstly, it's longer to pitch than other tents, but it's really not that hard. It would be easier with two of you, but I think it looks really, really smart. I really like the dark green colour. Guy lines seem like they're going to be really strong. I have noticed one weakness straight away, is this door has only got 2 Velcro spots on, one there and one down here. So this is getting blown open by the wind and there's snow collecting on the zip. I don't know if the waterproof zips or not, they look pretty good. But nice to have another little Velcro point there. Same on the other side as well, but you can see that's just getting blown open. But with that being in the vestibule, if I just open this briefly, even if that does leak through, you know, it's only going to leak through onto there, so it's not the end of the world. But I've never been inside this tent yet. Like I say, that's the first time pitching it. Well, actually, first time successfully pitching it. And I don't think it's a bad pitch. It's slightly off on the fly. You can see that cross there is supposed to be where the poles cross, so that's not quite even. But it's a simple way to pitch. You throw the fly over the top, then you've got these buckles that you clip onto the end and then pull tight. Oh. 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 Well, we're in, and I've had to bash the light on early because it's going dark pretty quick. I've got to say straight away, this tent is class when you're in it. It's a bit of a nightmare, not a nightmare, just it's a bit lengthier to pitch than an outer first where you can just clip things on like the solo, which is lovely. The room in here, I'm 6'3", 6'4" on a good day. I'm not even sat in the middle, and there's the middle, and I'm nowhere near the top. The amount of room in here is insane. We've got pockets everywhere. So far, really, really good. No complaints. There's this. I can't believe the space that there is, but I'm going to get unpacked. I'm going to get everything set up. Well, the wind has taken an absolute turn. This was definitely not in the forecast. Thankfully, the Kangri is staying solid. I don't think you can see much. Hang on, let me chuck the head torch on. There you go. It's staying absolutely solid, but this wind and sleet and a bit of snow now on the ground is rough. I'm interested to see what the wind speed is. I just recorded 21. Can you see that? It was only supposed to be between 5 and 10 tonight. I actually nearly brought the MSR Elixir 2 to give it a test in some colder conditions. Windier conditions, because obviously up at the Roaches there was no wind at all. But I'm really glad I didn't bring it now, because I don't think I'd be mad keen on it, on the MSR. At this wind speed. I'm just trying to get a good reading here. 21. It was forecast between 5 and 10, which is mad. Kangri looking good though. I just had to take the guy lines off and make sure I hadn't done. There's some little tabs to make sure the inner stays with the outer here on each corner guy line, and I hadn't put them on, so I just had to take the guy lines off and lift the outer up a little bit to put those tabs on. But it's standing up. I mean, it's only 20 mile an hour, I know, and this is designed for more, but standing up really well. And the space inside is lovely. If only it was just a tad lighter and a tad easier to pitch, we'd be on. No, I like the look of it. Right, it's time to get. I still haven't got everything unpacked inside, so I better go and do that. Oh, that's the feeling. That's the feeling right there when you've finally got your pad up and you can rest your bones, brother. Oh, right. There's so much space in here. I put my pack in the vestibule that's that side.
I put my boots down there. I'm going to cook down there as well. But I'm just going to put the bed on a bit of an angle so we've got a little bit more space. But I feel like there's actually enough space here, which is really nice. Just noticing the flies touching the inner just slightly out there, I think. I don't think I've quite pitched it perfectly. Just if I show you above. Oh, just there. It's a little damp spot where I think the fly must be touching the inner. Oh, there's also a couple of gear lofts, little pockets up here as well. There's, for anyone who hasn't seen inside this, there's pockets all the way down. All the way down the tent on both sides. There's so much storage. I've got too much space. So yeah, I'm impressed. I just wish it was. I want this tent that's this strong, but I want it out of pitch first. Who makes that? I know Terra Nova do one that's very similar. There's the Quasar, but that's the same as this, inner pitch first. So I want this tent in this shape with this strength. Not bothered about the weight too much, but I want it outer first. That's all I want. Who's out there listening, please? Thank you. Dinner! Remember that guy on TikTok who used to say that like that? Is he still, what was his name? Lawrence? Is he still going? I haven't seen him for ages. Right then, what is dinner? Ta-da! This is an adventure food. Mince beef hot pot. Whack. So that should be good. Never had this type before. But it's dehydrated as opposed to just warm up, so we'll boil some water, we'll make enough for a brew. How much more water do we need? Does it tell you? Is my head torch on? No. I have to turn it off because otherwise it blinds the camera. I need 380 ml of water. Well, that's achievable, so that's good. And I suppose at this point we should show you Candy with Andy. However, I have a confession, although it's not my fault. Candy with Andy tonight does have two quite popular sweets in my opinion. The raspberry mushroom, these are fruity and nice, and the classic dolly mixture. Now you might notice the corner of the dolly mixture is open, yes. However, that wasn't for me. Annabelle, my 3-year-old daughter, noticed that I was just putting these in my bag just as I was leaving the house. And she asked me if she could have one. And I thought, you know what? I think the Candy with Andy adjudicators out there would allow it. So if you're not allowing a 3-year-old to have a dolly mixture before leaving the house, then I'm sorry. But they're sort of partly open. I haven't had one yet, though. I haven't had a dolly mixture for years, actually. And then we've got a coffee, which I'll probably have in the morning. And then a Starbucks caramel latte, but they don't pay the tax apparently, so I don't want to drink it, but I've got it now, so I might as well. Let's not get political here, shall we? Right, Candy can go back in there. What time is it, by the way? Thanks for asking. 7:45. I ended up having a lie down. I was in like a... Have you ever been in a slumber where you're not actually asleep, but you're not kind of awake, but you kind of are? You're sort of aware of what's going on, but you're not really fully there? Because that's what I was like just now. For an hour or so. But I never actually fully fell asleep. I hate this bit now. I'm sort of a bit scared of gas, I am. I just sort of... I kind of know what it's capable of, do you know what I mean? Like, this could just explode in my face now. I'm a bit concerned that the screw isn't taking very well at all. This is a new canister, I've not used it yet. What am I doing wrong here? Oh, hang on, there we go. And then it goes tss. I hate it. Oh, it didn't. Wait, what? It doesn't sound like any gas is coming out. Okay, fucking hell, yeah, there is. I just saw the gas then. Okay, I don't know if this canister is like good for cold weathers, but cold weather? Cold weather. Let's just get it fired up and get some. Oh, I'm moving the camera if I move that part of the tent, so let's not do that. That's working absolutely fine. If anything, it's working a little too well. Let's just turn that down a smidge. Right, so that can go back in there. I hate not. I'm a real. I like knowing where everything is. I hate that tents aren't good for me because like you put something down and it gets lost and you don't know where it is. Oh, that's lovely. So I'm a real stickler for finding, not losing things and finding where things are and what have you. So I need 380 mil for that meal. I think there is. Hang on. Stick a head torch on. I think there is some markings in here. So 380 mil for that, which is there, and then I'll want a brew, which is probably, I don't know how much more. So I think we probably just do a full whack here, don't we? A full can, give or take. But I also don't want it. Oh no, because I've got a fucking. No, Andy. I should have done 2 batches. I should have just boiled the water for the brew. You know, I can't really pour it back in now though. I should have boiled the water for the brew after I'd done the water for the food, because this is like this is going to take forever to boil with it being it. Oh, I've moved the camera again. Alright, let that go for a bit. Where's my lid? Pop the lid on. Oh, I do this all the time. Forget to get the handles off the side. And run out in the rain. Ooh, ooh. I'm obsessed with the song, by the way. Okay, right. We're going. We're cracking on. Do you want to have a look? Alright, yeah. Don't kick off. I'll show you. Just relax. There you go. That's the little cooking station we've got. I know it's on a bit of an angle, but that'll have to do. Got the door wide open. I'm not ever risking cooking in a tent without full ventilation. I'm terrified of stuff like that. Like I said earlier, I don't really like gas, to be honest with you. Ooh. Seen the price of a coffee lately, by the way, jokes aside. Like, have you seen, I went into Costa in where I live, obviously. I won't go into Costa on the moon, would I? Went into Costa and I met my mate there. We did a bit of work, whilst we were there during the day. As in, work on our laptops. We weren't working at the Costa, like we didn't offer to wash the dishes for a brew. That'd be good though, wouldn't it, if you could do that? I'll wash up for an hour for a coffee. Is that worth it? Probably not. Gone off on a tangent here, sorry. Back to the point in hand. 2 coffees, although he had a frappe, so it was like an iced coffee, and I had a flat white, which is not a very big coffee anyway. So flat white, and he had a frappe, and we both had a slice of cake, a slice of orange and blackcurrant cake. Now, admittedly, the orange and blackcurrant cake was delightful. But yeah, we both had a slice of cake as well. 17 quid it cost me. Like, on what planet is that okay? On what planet is 17 quid for a coffee and a cake? 2 coffees and a cake, okay? It's not, is it? Ever. Never, ever. Right, I'm looking forward to this meal because I've not had this style before. And I'm hoping it's going to be incredible. There should be one of them pouches in here. Oh, it looks very powdery. Little balls of what I assume is supposed to be meat, beef. That is like a little rabbit dropping. But that's what I'm after. Don't eat it with that in, that absorbs moisture. I've done that before where I've filled them up with that in. These can be a bit tricky to stir right, because there's a lot of powder in there. I don't know if you can see without me tipping it up. There's a lot of powder in there, so trying to get it like, you know when we've all had a cup of soup in the past, where you get to the bottom of the cup of soup and you go, oh, I haven't stirred this. Well, that's kind of like what this is like, but on an extreme level. And then I've got water in up to... Oh, it gives you a water line inside. That's good then. Okay, water to there. Smells nice. Oh, we're boiled. Oh, we're boiled. We're so boiled. stove off. That's one dangerous thing that I don't have to worry about now. Now the next problem I've got is how do I actually accurately pour 380 ml of water in here without pissing it all over me tent? That's the question. I reckon I've got this in me, haven't I? Come on, you're 35, mate. If you can't pour water in a pouch, what's the best angle to go from here? Nervous. You're going to see if I spill it as well. I can't even edit it out. Oh, this has gone incredibly well. About there. Now, this is the big one. You've got to stir it so well. Get down all the corners. I say all the corners, there's 2 corners. Get down all of those 2 corners. And give it a really good mix. We don't want any of that cup of soup powder in the bottom corner nonsense. And then we've got to leave it for 10 minutes. Close the pouch and leave it for 10 minutes. Okay, I think that's about right. Now I've got a load of powdery stuff on my spoon. Put a bit more water in. Thank you. Right, sweet. I can't get this off me. I'm going to have to use my finger. Get off there. Go on, get off. Oh, it's hot. It's hot. How strange. It's not as if it's just been boiling. Right, sweet. That was quite tasty. It is nice. Now, I've seen people say when you're doing these dehydrated meals to now put them down your jumper whilst they warm up, whilst they cook for 10 minutes. Well, don't cook, but while they like rehydrate for 10 minutes, because that now is roasting hot. I'm not going to do that because I'm terrified of like just spilling it and having a load of minced beef hot pot down my top. However, we have got a coffee to do as well. I think I might end up with the most outrageously perfect amount of water. Oh my god, it's literally perfect. Dream come true. Do the dishes on the old hot pot spoon and then stir this coffee. I think that's dissolved pretty well. Right, magic. Excuse me for licking a spoon. Right, I'll give that a minute because I can't quite drink boiling water. I will hold on to this though. So, oh dear. What have I got to tell you? Not a lot really. I'm going to, I have got something to tell you. I'm going to Boston on, oh sorry, let me turn that off, how rude of me. There we go. I'm going to Boston on Wednesday. I did say at the end of the last video, but for anyone who hasn't seen that, I have another YouTube channel where I make gaming content about a game called Rainbow Six Siege, which is the best game in the world, first-person shooter, tactical first-person shooter, and I'm lucky enough that the company that makes that game has taken me to a few events, a few of the esports events, by the way, this is, and there's one in Boston that started this week. So I'm flying out there on Wednesday, and I think I'm gonna try and vlog a bit of it, and then put it on this channel rather than my main Siege channel, because the main Siege channel is all about like gameplay and stuff, and tips and tricks and what have you, not really travel. So, and I did put the travel vlog on there from from Sao Paulo and Rio. And it did okay, but I think it'd be better suited to this channel. Oh, it's mad, isn't it, that I'm that cold, I'm literally drinking boiling water. Fucking that's hot. Alright, don't get ahead of yourself, mate. So yeah, I'm going to Boston on Wednesday. Until the following Wednesday. I'm staying for a few extra days. Shout out Liam. So we're going to explore Boston a bit. So I think I should be able to make a video. The only thing is, I probably won't edit it when I'm there. I'll have to do it when I'm back. But I mean, this kind of channel, it's just do it as I can. It's not like when my other channel, I'm like conscious to try and upload a couple of times a week. Obviously with this channel, it's just started, so post videos when I can, really. I've got a few other camps in mind, and it's February now, so spring is next month. That's my birthday. So Should start warming up soon, and then it opens up a few more doors. Also means it gets busier. You know, there's a few times last summer when I went wild camping and there was a few people in the spot that I wanted to go to and we had to share the spot, but that's fine. Obviously with this weather it's a select few people that come out. I'm warming up so much just by being active and talking and like moving myself about and making things and stuff. Like I can just feel that I'm warming up. So I am thinking about a new sleeping bag. I didn't look at the time when I did that. That wasn't not sensible. I don't know when 10 minutes is going to be. I am looking at a new sleeping bag because this is a Snugpak Softy Elite 4, which is great, kept me warm in all sorts of conditions that you've seen, but it's just a bit bulky. Remember when I told you I was obsessed with a song? Well, this is it. I want to give him a shout out. It was actually on the background of an Instagram video by Hayes Outdoors. It's called Old One by Finnegan Toohey, I'm guessing. And it's all about sort of humans being geared up to be in nature, but end up like leading lives behind screens and that sort of thing. But it's an absolute banger. Old One by Finnegan Toohey. It's a bit of a deep tune, you know. I wouldn't put it on before you go out on a Friday night, but me saying I'm obsessed with a song, I am. I've listened to it so much recently. I suppose it's only right that I give him a shout out to all 12 people that might watch this video. Finnegan Toohey, Old One, banger.
Ambassador.
It's got Mary Queen of Scots on Netflix.
Disinterest, madam, and informs me that the matter of choice in marriage.
My favourite period in history. This. Well, actually, this is a little bit. This is a little bit past my favourite. My favourite period is like 100 Years' War, Plantagenet, Henry V era, Edward III. This is another sort of 150 years on beyond that, but still, I love history, man. I just find it fascinating. Like we said down at that Irwood Hall earlier, people used to live there, and we were wandering around, and that was someone's gaff. Like, that's mad to me. Crazy.
We should marry her to someone loyal to our queen.
Right, well, the coffee went down splendidly. It's time to have a look what this is about, because it's been 10 minutes. What we're looking like. Probably, does it say stir it again? I suspect it will. Stir it again, yeah. And then it specifically says, eat from pouch. Oh, it's thick. I could lay bricks with this. Right, give it another stir down the bottom. Yeah, Jesus. I bet you I could pick this up with the bag. No, I can't. I thought the bag was going to come up with the spoon. It's thick, though. Oh, I hope it's bloody nice. Please be nice. I need it to be nice. It's nice. It's very nice. It's like, let me show you. So I suspect what was in that pouch was a load of instant mashed potato. Oh, it's well nice. Well, you know, I don't think I'd serve it in a restaurant, but it's tasty. Adventure food and minced beef hot pot, nice. Now, I will just give it one slight criticism. I've just had some of the beef, the little beef balls, the little rabbit droppings. They're a little bit hard. It's been more than 10 minutes, and they haven't rehydrated very well. But yeah, the beef balls are a little bit. They haven't rehydrated very well. They're still tasty though. Overall flavour, 8.2 out of 10. Ease of making, not quite as easy as the ones you just boil, but still pretty easy. Waiting for 10 minutes is painful. Waiting for 10 minutes is tough because you're really hungry. But overall, Adventure Food Minced Beef Hot Pot, that gets a Baldoutdoors Outdoors culinary rating overall of a 7.9. No, actually, an 8.1. It's really nice. Really tasty. They are, it's like 7 quid, I think they are. So not the cheapest thing, but by the time you go on the supermarket and bought, you know, when we did tacos, or when we did, what did we do when we were hammock camping, steak, you spend more than that anyway. Hammock camping, I had a really good time doing that. I've actually bought a new hammock that's bigger than the one that I had there, and I've put the old one on eBay. I think the listing's still live now, actually, but it won't be live when this video comes out. Just so it's a bit longer and a bit wider. Same company, DD Hammocks. That's this hat, wherever. Is the label somewhere here? Where's the label? Is that it there? I tell you what, this is not an advert or sponsored, although I'd love it to be. DD Hammocks I've got the best customer service of any company I've ever bought anything from. I emailed them when I got back from that camp, asked a few questions, and they couldn't do enough for me, sorted me out. Like I wasn't receiving their email, so they rang me to make sure I received the email. Just really good experience using them. So big shout out to DD Hammocks. So I've upgraded to a bigger hammock, so I'm definitely going to be hammock camping again in the next, after Boston, week or two, next 2 weeks or so. I really enjoyed it. And obviously you're not in the elements as much because you're in the woods. Right, I'm going to eat this.
I'm quite well.
The supper has been prepared. We can have a...
Oh, it's candy with Andy. Right, let's go. Let's go. Episode 4, I think this is. Episode 4, I think. Wait, what did we do first? We did... I can't remember. Was it rainbow laces and strawberry pencils? Then we did shrimps and something else. Then we did starburst and fruit pastels. So we've got raspberry flavour mushrooms. I know I like these. And dolly mixture. I used to like these when I was a kid, but these remind, from memory, these are just like sugar. So dolly mixture versus raspberry mushrooms. Let's give it a bloody good go. Right, raspberry mushrooms first. I'm going in with 2. In fact, I've got 3. This is what they look like for anyone who doesn't know what a raspberry mushroom is. It is a really tough competition up on a mountain because they're freezing cold. They're fruity. Not for grown-ups, it says on the back. 1 serving is 7 sweets. Not tonight, it's not. They are nice. Once I've got past the fact that they're rock solid, they go back to a bit more... I've said malleable loads talking about sweets. That's sort of what I remember them. What I remember them be texture like, and that they taste like raspberries. It's a bit like sort of milky raspberry flavour type thing. Right, dolly mixture. Now the ones I used to really like in dolly mixture were like the cubes. Do they still do that? Yes, man, I can see a yellow one. There's 2 different types in dolly mixture. It's basically just sugar, and it's you get 3 different types of sweets. You get like this sort of compressed thing, what we would normally call a jelly tot, and like these cubes, but these cubes were the best. So, jelly tot's a jelly tot. That lime flavour is strong. Bloody hell. That's nice. This is sort of taking me back a little bit to my childhood. I haven't had these for years. These have got more flavour than I remember. I thought they were just sugar. I'm getting a bit of fruity flavour. The cubes are the best. I think I've made my mind up. This could be the fastest episode ever. I don't think I need to go again to say... And you know what? It's an absolute reversal. On the way up here, I thought I was going to pick raspberry mushrooms. But dolly mixture wins it, folks. Dolly mixture takes it. That, I think, you know why that's done so well there? I think I think that's just like literally transported me back to my childhood momentarily and made me quite happy. That is. I also, just to reiterate, I didn't think they had any flavour. I thought they were just sugar. They have got flavour. They're wonderful. Dolly mixture's gone right up back in my estimations. Possibly my favourite one I've done so far. I'm not saying it's the best sweet, but in terms of the taste test, that has taken me back to places I haven't thought about for a while. Sorry, raspberry mushrooms. Whilst I really like you, I thought you were going to win. You haven't got it. You've not got the full package, I'm afraid. Right, Candy with Andy, episode 4. Dolly mixture takes it. I'm going to watch the rest of Mary Queen of Scots. Tidy up the kitchen. Do a bit of washing up. And what I mean by doing a bit of washing up, I mean is lick my spoon. Put my stove away. Put my cup away. I don't leave anything out at night. I don't know why. I always pack up. I know people leave the stove in the vestibule and stuff, and I just pack up, and then if I need something, I'll get it back out again. I like everything being tidy. I don't know why, because I'm not really like that at home. Right, zip this up right now. Final check on pegs and guy lines before we bed down for the night. Just whip around, make sure all the guys are not drum tight, but just tight enough. I don't think the wind's going to get any worse than this. But given it's already not what the forecast said, better be safe than sorry, and just make sure everything's okay. Seems like the hail's stopped now. We are sort of in the cloud. You can see how cloudy it is. Everything looks okay. All the pegs are in. Guy lines are on the pegs okay. Everything. Whew, I tell you what, the wind chill is mad. I have brought my anemometer out with me. Let's give this a quick check, see what we're dealing with. 18, 20.3. It's not really getting much worse than that. That's a slightly bigger gust, feels like there, although it's not recording higher. Oh, there we go. 20. What we got there? 22.3. So, you know, not outrageously windy, but windy enough for it to be fresh. The vestibule's covered in frost, covered in water, where the hail melted earlier. I'm going to go and enjoy a little bit of nature calls. I'm going to get wrapped in that sleeping bag, watch the rest of Mary Queen of Scots, and get some kip. Time now is about 9 o'clock, so could end up with got to wake up about 7:30, set an alarm for sunrise. Based on the forecast, I don't think we're going to see much. It'll be out that way if we do, but the wind chill is outrageous. I'm freezing. I'm going for a waz and I'm getting wrapped up. Well, that's Mary Queen of Scots, 3/4 of the way through. I've not got to the end, but I'm starting to doze off. So rather than fall asleep and not watch the end, I'll watch the end when I get home tomorrow probably. Or if I wake up in the night and I need something to do. I think there's about 20 minutes, half an hour left, probably half an hour. The wind is still knocking about. It's still blowing about the tent a little bit, but the tent's fine. I keep saying it, but I am really impressed with it. I think it feels solid, it's well built, there's loads of space. Pretty chuffed with it. You know what's annoying? I've just felt that I might need to go for another waz. That is really annoying because I was just about to try and fall asleep. So that's good. But I'll be back in the morning, all being well. like it might not. And we're just to let you know, tomorrow morning we're going to do going to walk back a slightly different way. It still ends up going past Irwood Hall again, but it's a slightly different way back. It sort of gets us back faster, but it's steeper going down. So on the way up I chose to go a way that was longer but not quite as steep, whereas in the morning I don't tend to like hanging about in the morning. I just sort of want to get gone. So I'm going to go the quicker way back to the car, all being well. They did say on the car park no overnight parking, but it was a free car park, so I assume no overnight parking they meant for like no camper vans. That was my take on it. So hopefully the car's alright as well. But I am in the middle of nowhere, so I can't imagine anyone doing anything to it, hopefully. So, without further ado, I'll see you in the morning. Oh, well, good morning. That was an interesting night. I didn't get a great amount of sleep, if I'm honest. The wind picked up overnight to about 25, 30. I had to go out for it. I don't know what it is when I go camping. I can't stop going for a waz. Yeah, the wind picked up a bit, so the tent was flapping around, so it was quite loud. And I just couldn't fully get warm. Couldn't fully warm up. I never felt fully cosy. I've had like bits of sleep here and there, but it wasn't a good night's sleep, which I was hoping for. Tent's been really good in the wind, but I've got to really weigh up what I want to do with this now. It's caused. I was hoping it was going to be crap because it's caused me a real problem. Because it's been great in the wind, really sturdy. I feel like the fly touches the inner a little bit too much in places at times. Like if it was driving wind horizontally and rain, I feel like the inner would get a bit wet, but the amount of pockets in the space is so good. I've got to weigh up what to do with it. Anyway, plan now is get up, have a drink. I've not had a drink all night. I've got a bit of a dry mouth. And then the worst time in everyone's camping life is packing up because no one wants to put a tent away in the driving wind and hail, although I think it stopped hailing now. It doesn't sound like it. But yeah, pack it away and then go the way back down to the car is slightly shorter way, although it's still about a 2.5 mile walk or so. I'm sort of ready to go and sit in a warm car, to be honest. Someone told me, right, if you ever heard this, it's not true. Someone said to me that if you take your clothes off, you'll be warmer in your sleeping bag. So last night when I was feeling like I wasn't getting overly warm, I took my coat off, took my mid layer off, I just went down to my base layers and then got back in the sleeping bag and I wasn't any warmer. Like it didn't warm me up anymore. So if you're thinking that you're going to be, I don't know, someone said that, yeah, take the layers off, you'll be warmer. I wasn't. That's not true. I would have been warmer with the layers on. And now I'll put my layers back on. I feel like I'm ready to go sleep now, but now is the time to get up because sunrise was 10 minutes ago. So let's have a look outside, shall we? Is it still cloudy as? Oh, that's the wrong one. Where's my zip? Can we see anything this morning? Come on, Zip. Oh. No, we can't see Jack. No is the answer. Right, I'm going to start packing up. That makes sense. I'm going to start packing up. I'm going to get on the move and warm up a bit. It was a strange sleep, that. Like, I wasn't ever freezing cold, but I was never fully cozy warm. It was a strange one. Someone come and pack this up for me. The worst feeling in the world is putting a wet tent back in its stuff sack, so someone come and do it for me. Thank you, bye.
I found God in puddles, in the sand of
paths have turned into absolute mush. It's just a big peat bog that I've got. Who's Pete Bog? Never met the bloke. And then out of nowhere, in a really gloomy setting, the first trees of the forest have just appeared. They look clearer on the camera than they did to me. They just literally appeared like they weren't there 3 meters ago. But the good news is, the minute we drop into the forest is the minute we get out of this wind and mist. Well, not so much the mist, but the mist that's being blown around. How eerie and cool does that look? I need to sort out my microphone as well. I'm still on the camera mic here, so I hope it doesn't sound pap. Casualty. Anyone any good at limbo? Because I'm not. How is that still standing? Look at the bend in the trunk. That's mad. I have to sneak through here, I think. Made out like that was dead low. Wasn't really, was it? Really wasn't that bad. Pathetic, Andy, frankly. Alright, fine, I'll show you one more time because it's really cool. But it's cool looking at it from coming down on it from this angle as opposed to coming up to it. And there it is. A ruined, Victorian, abandoned, ruined, Victorian, abandoned, ruined Manor Victorian Hall. I love it, man. Well, as you can see in the horizon there, we're back at the reservoir where the car is. So, I'm going to wrap this one up. Let me spin you around. So,
And for full comedic effect, my microphone died, so I'm recording this since I've got home. Essentially, what I said here was that the Kangri's a good tent, but it's a bit annoying to pitch it in at first. It's a bit easier, obviously, pitching it outer first with the clips and whatnot. Something along the lines of, I just checked that the microphone worked there, and I didn't even notice it was dead, but something along the lines at this point of, cheers for watching, cheers for coming along for another camp. We'll get another one in a few weeks when I'm back from Boston. And then still waffling about something. And at this point, I say thanks very much and think I punch, or well, slap the camera, I think. Is that coming up? Say, see you on the next one. Anytime about now, I think. There we go. All the best.